Uh, Recording in progress. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Michael, how are you? Anthony?
I'm good. I'm excellent. Good.
Anthony,
good,
you're outside?
I'm outside, yes, getting a meal for my crew that I'm taking out, getting trees off roads.
Ah, fantastic. Chopping trees. Excellent. So it's a very quick chat on Friday, on Friday this time. But can you guys tell us, so we've got a fantastic masterclass tomorrow with Mark Hager. So at the moment, he's known as the former coach of NZ New Zealand ladies and bronze medalist with GB. So fantastic recovery for the GB team. So that's great. But we'll talk about that in the masterclass about team culture, how he rebuilt that team and managed to get them to a top international level. But before that, he was a fantastic player. So he's got a lot of history working with Rick Shalworth as an assistant coach, but as a player, he's actually got a fantastic resume as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about him?
Yeah, Michael's probably got a good list of that. But as a New Zealand player that I played against him a few times, and let me tell you, he was one of the most difficult players that I ever played against in world hockey. There might have been players that were more skillful, there might have been players that were quicker, there might have been players that worked harder, there might have been players that did a whole bunch of other things, but he was still in the very top category of players to play against and have to mark because he was so good inside the circle.
Absolutely. Yeah, I coached him for a bit, and then I was his assistant when he was learning to be a coach. And when I used to play, he played in my team when I coached, and he was a formidable striker, unbelievable. Then I played against him in a few games when he went to another club, and we used to live together, his wife and my wife, and he bashed the shit out of me on the field. And
what was interesting is last week when we did our Friday chat on Saturday, I kind of poked at him by saying that a good goal scorer was really a good mindset. And he said, "Oh, not only." So he was pretty. It's a pretty strong subject for him.
he was an extremely potent scorer. At one stage, he was the leading goal scorer in all Australian hockey. So, plus he was the captain of the Australian team. He was a prolific goal scorer in every. I mean, not penalty corners, not penalty strokes, not penalty drag flicking. He was just an outright. You put him on the field, he'd score a goal. I think he scored 176 international goals for his 100 and I don't know how many games he played, but he was pretty amazing. So
yeah. So when I played against him, right, the hard thing in the circle was that he was so good in his positioning. He was very good with his first touch, outstanding with his first touch. And as a defender, you were relying on little bumps to put people off and things like this. You wouldn't shift him. He was solid as a rock, right? And he was fearless. It didn't matter what you did, didn't bother him. He just got stuck in there.
Yeah, and you never expected Mark Hager to pass the ball in the circle. Never happened.
No,
never happened.
Didn't expect it.
He would just turn around and smash the hell out of it. And he always knew where the goals were, either by deflection or straight hit or if you were in his road, he would just bash the crap out of you. Get out of my way. This is my area. This is where I'm going to score. And he was good. Pain in the ass, really, when you played against him.
And attitude is certainly part of that, but there's more to it than just attitude. Because you have to understand the game well, you have to know where you've got to be, you've got to know all the things, and you have to understand what defenders are going to do as well.
Yeah, it's an instinctive position that it's very difficult to train people to do. You've either got it or you haven't got it. And he had that natural ability to know where the net is. Didn't matter if his eyes were shut or wherever, he just knew where it was. And he did it really well. Yep. He would have been good in any era of hockey.
So that was going to be my next question. How would he feature in the current game?
He'd be really good in the current game with a little bit more space.
Yep, absolutely.
And with that,
think I've lost you, Anthony.
Oh yeah, I'm back now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With the current rules that would allow him to play on, he was such a clever player. He would be able to take advantage of that situation often and catch defenders out.
And because the game is played more directly now as well, in terms of tactical, rather than going around through the back areas, he would be deadly, far more deadly now, because he'd have more shots directly in the area where he wants the ball. So, yep.
Yeah.
So if you compare to someone like Jamie Dwyer to stay in the Australian team, or I don't know who are the modern strikers. What kind of style? Because they all have their styles, but what kind of style, if you compare to Jamie or the current striker in the Australian team?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, right? Because if you look at the current Australian team, you've got a Blake Govers whose style is quite clumsy, and he's a class above Blake Govers by quite a long way. If you look at a Jamie Dwyer, if you go back to that name that you mentioned, Jamie was really good on the ball. His dribbling skills are really good, and Jamie would have been better than Mark in that space, but Jamie was not better as a goal scorer than Horry was. In fact, Horry was probably better than Jamie, if I was honest about that assessment. Both were good players, don't get me wrong here. Both were really good players, but Jamie was a ball carrier and did a little bit of creating. Yeah, Mark pretty much never did that. He just scored goals.
Yep. And Mark was a very direct type of player. Very direct.
Yep.
Well, excellent. So we should. So the masterclass for tomorrow is about team culture. I think we added in the subject we added goal scoring.
Okay.
I think that's part of the program. But it looks like he could even deserve a full masterclass just on goal scoring then.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, goal scoring is a massive subject that people don't understand. And a lot of coaches of kids coach goal scoring out of kids because of what they say to them.
Yeah. Whenever you're selecting a team, I mean, you look at the people who can hit the ball in the net. It's very simple. Consistently in club games, in state games and internationals. If someone can do that consistently, then they're the first people you pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to have your bet. You need to have a quarter. You need a goal scoring threat to make your team a complete team.
Can you say that again, Anthony? Sorry.
Oops. We lost him.
Yeah.
Trees landed on him or something.
No, I'm still back. I'm driving back to my unit now. So
if you want to repeat what you just said, Anthony, and then we'll conclude on that. That's fine.
To be a whole team, right, an effective attacking team, you need both field play scoring players, but you need a good scoring penalty corner as well. You need both options.
Yeah, you need the whole line. You need the whole line.
You can't rely on one method of scoring. If you do that, it's easy to shut down for the opposition. Yeah,
that's what makes the game complex. You have to be consistent throughout the different phases and
that's right. Yeah.
And so that's the old story. If you hit 4 goals a game, you're going to win 90% of your games. You know, it's very simple. And the reason you hit 4 is, one, because the opposition might hit a really good goal. Secondly, you might make a mistake and the opposition hit a goal, and the umpire will give the team another goal. So you've got to hit 4. That's it.
So if you get 4, the opposition have to get 5 to beat you. So can they score 5? That's the question you're asking of them.
Yep, that's right.
But that's a good one. If you score 4 goals, you've got 90% chance of winning the game. That's quite a strong figure. Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's a good way to conclude. So, Anthony, we'll let you go along with your evening. Michael as well. Thank you so much. And we'll conclude that Friday chat. It was a short but sweet. And looking forward to tomorrow's masterclass then.
Awesome.
Yeah, it will be good.
It will be good. Good fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.